Hey guys, for my final on the Old Testament survey, I wanted to cover one of my favorite parts of the Old Testament, which is prophecy. There's been debate in recent years over whether or not the Old Testament is even pertinent to current Christians. One of the things that the Old Testament does for us really well is it shows us the character of God, the character that He wanted for His chosen people. Also, it helps us to know why we live in a fallen world and how to conduct ourselves in this fallen state. The Bible covers a lot of prophecy. The sheer numbers and execution of these prophecies haven't been matched by any book or religion in the history of the world. And around 500 of these prophecies are of the end times and the last days. Everything from wars and rumors of wars, famine, great earthquakes, pestilence, which is just pandemics, crime, lawlessness, a ruining of the earth by mankind, both by violent and corrupt actions, but also by bringing harm to the environment itself, deteriorating attitudes, unthankfulness and disloyalty and slanderousness, being disagreeable, without a love of goodness and self-control, puffed up with pride, breakdown of the family, not just family members turning on each other, but the destruction of the biblical concept of family, diminished love of God, humanity becoming lovers of pleasure instead of lovers of God, and turning to outright rejection of God and His children, increased understanding of Bible prophecies while the world tries to make sense of the signs that they're seeing, global preaching work reaching all corners of the earth. I think there's a couple languages left to be translated. Widespread apathy and ridicule, people ignoring overwhelming evidence of the approaching end, and even ridiculing the evidence pointing towards it. Simultaneous fulfillment of all of these things, and then the Antichrist coming and defiling the temple, which means there would have to be a third temple built, or at least started. But the Old Testament contains books of prophecy, unlike any other source that we've ever seen. Around 2,500 prophecies were made in the Bible. The 500 pertaining to the end times, the other 2,000 have been fulfilled. Other books, writings, religions that claim prophetic nature run with about 60% accuracy, which is not accurate at all. One of the prophecies I wanted to cover is of Isaiah prophesying that the Jewish people were going to be captured and sent into captivity by the Babylonians, and then a great conqueror, Cyrus, coming and destroying the seemingly impregnable Babylon and subduing Egypt along with a huge chunk of the known world. This happened about 80 years before Israel was taken into captivity, and about 150 years before Cyrus was even born. If you gave a conservative 1 in 10 chance per prophetic statement, the exile to Babylon would be about 1 in 10 to the 15th power. And I actually had to look that up. It's 1 in a quadrillion chance of all of these things unfolding as predicted, which is huge. The second one is of the crucifixion account. Both King David and the prophet Zechariah predicted the crucifixion of the Messiah 400 years before crucifixion was ever invented. And not only that, but there was so many details in the prophecy. For example, the prophecy said that there would be not a single bone broken on the Messiah's body. But we know that a common practice was to club and break the legs to speed up the crucifixion so that they could no longer lift themselves up to get breath, causing them to asphyxiate a lot sooner. Both historians and New Testament writers both confirmed that the Roman guards pierced his side to verify his death, contrary to custom. And then even scientifically have proven why water and blood flowed from the wound. But if you gather up the some 2,000 prophecies that have been fulfilled without flaw, the chances of that happening, coming to fruition in full, are about 1 in 10 to the 2,000th power. And that's a 1 with 2,000 zeros behind it. There's no name for a number that big. So I feel like the Bible has proven its reliability to an unimaginable degree, and should make us probably take the remaining prophecies very seriously and with great consideration. Thank you for your time.